Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to your weekly general tarot scope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for everyone. They are for the general energies, trends and themes that are going to unfold over the course of the week ahead. All of this is obviously infused with my personal intuitive message. So every week I'll go into my intuition and I will ask what it is that we need to know, what it is that we need to see. And very often I'll get like a picture in my mind. Sometimes it's like a mini movie, sometimes it's a thought or an impression, sometimes it's just a color, and from all of this, whatever it might be, I formulate kind of like a sentence, and from there I just kind of use that as like an added thread to the overarching theme of the reading. But with that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for the intuitive message this week, I know you're not going to like it, but I'm just going to tell you straight up. Okay, that card seems to want out, so let's see what it is. All right, so it's the Gate 26 and the Greater Good. The intuitive message this week was it's a week of disruption and chaos. I don't know what's going on in the ether, but when I looked into this one, all I could see were effectively kind of trolls, but not the fluffy internet kind of trolls, but like, you know, gnarly sort of beastie, I'm gonna trash everything kind of trolls. And I had to really puzzle over this one because I was like, okay, what's the message here? What is it that you're trying to show me? So I did some digital bibliomancy. I Googled. I don't know, for those of you that don't know, bibliomancy is where you pick up a book, you ask a question, whatever that question might be, you pick up a book and you open it at a certain page and you read that page and there's supposed to be an answer in it for you. Googling is digital bibliomancy. There are countless pages on God knows just about everything, right? And so when you Google something, whatever you get, you scroll through and you have a look and trolls, as it were, or as it seems, are an omen of disruption and chaos. And so that's the message that I kind of got from that this week, right? And to be honest with you, they were, you know, even in my vision, they were trashing something. Now you've got the Gate 26 and the Greater Good, and the message behind this card, in a sort of axiom to sort of nail it down, it is you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, right? That's the message behind this. It's like when we win together, everybody wins. Yes, that's a part of serving or feeding the greater good or the greater whole, but a big part of it is when you don't just think about yourself, when you think about others, or so the message in this card, as you can see here. So Denise Matthew created these and she sent me, this deck was actually a gift. And the message behind this card, you can see the seagull there that sat on the elephant. This bird actually eats all of the insects and the parasites that try to sort of sit on the eyes and in the ears and stuff of the elephant. So the elephant doesn't, you know, swat it away or hit it or whatever, and it gets cleaning for free, and the bird gets a meal, right? So it's like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. This week, your interpersonal connections and collaborations, your interpersonal connections, whether this is just a little text or a message to say, hey, are you okay? Whether this is, you know, whatever the case might be. Think beyond just yourself this week, right? It's like, if you can see that the world is having a bit of a balmy, check in with your people, all right? Just, you might be grateful that you did. For our destiny, our direction cards, how do we best use this? Well, you could connect, you could find reasons to be happy and reasons to celebrate. You don't need a reason to get together with friends. I don't personally believe that you do. You've got the Moon card, okay. Interesting. So the Moon card coupled with the Three of Cups can literally represent a full moon party. I don't know if there is a full moon this week. I'll have to double check. But either which way, this could be reconnections with people from the past, specifically a King of Wands. So King of Wands is usually a fire sign male, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. because the Three of Cups is a get together of friends. The Moon card is the past. King of Wands, fire sign person, fire sign male. A reconnection, a reunion of some sort, could be in the works or on the books. That's on a really sort of practical, mundane level. On a more sort of philosophical level here, you could be realigning with some element of your past that really allows you to understand where you've done the work. And how this fits into the chaos and the disruption. Well, let's just say something kicks off in your family and you've done a lot of work on becoming a better person, not rising to the bait when people kind of push or prod or poke you. When something kicks off, you find a way to step back, to breathe through it, and to remember and to remind yourself how far you've come on your journey. In terms of the greater good, one of the ways that we can serve this is, if you can see it already kicking off, if you can see it already kicking off in the comment section, or or even in person, don't get into the fray of it. Find a better way around it, right? Find a better way to approach it. Find a better way to lead people out of the madness, right? Lots of really interesting stuff. Now, on the wider world stage, I tend not to talk about politics because I think it's divisive by its very nature. I also never want to upset anybody, and we all have our thoughts and feelings, and I think they're all valid. And I think everyone's opinion should be at least listened to, even if it's so. I'll give you an example, right? Because I had this recently where some fucking idiot girl was like, oh, well, I can't believe you just said that because, it's not about extremist agendas. Like, it's just not about it. And I was like, okay, but I didn't say that. What I said was, I think it's important that everybody should be able to voice their opinion. And I believe that. I stand by that, even if it's an opinion that I don't like. Why? Because when we take people's right of speech away from them, when we start telling people that they can't have an opinion, and we start silencing them, and we start cancelling them for it, what happens is they go underground, they form groups, and they become that much more fucking dangerous because they're doing that shit all behind the scenes, right? And I'll give you a perfect example of this. About a year and a half ago now, I've given this example before, but I think it's important to give it again. I remember I was reading an article, I was scrolling, I was reading an article about a guy who, he's a footballer or a rugby player, and he kind of went in saying, I think all the gays should be locked up, or I don't know, some really derogatory stuff about my community. And I was like, he's entitled to his opinion, whether I agree with that opinion or not. That's how he sees the world. Provided he's not actively going out of his way to physically harm me or distress me or whatever, let him have his opinion. And then this lady kind of weighed in on it, and she said, oh, that's a really balanced and mature way of looking at it, but doesn't it bother you that he kind of sees your very existence as I can't remember the words that she used, but it was like an affront to nature, or like your very existence is an offence or whatever. And I said, to be completely honest with you, love, no, because up until the time that I read this article, I didn't fucking know this guy even existed. So why on earth am I going to be out here losing sleep for somebody that I literally didn't even know existed until 20 minutes ago, like prior to me reading this article? The reason it's important that we allow everyone to have their opinion, whether we agree with it or not, right? And please hear me when I say that part, because people like to gloss over that bit and it really fucks me off, right? Soapbox moment, obviously. I'm on the soapbox, bashing. But it really does annoy me. Have your opinion, but let me hear it, right? Because that way, when you've got your moment to speak and no one's suppressing that, you're less likely to form a little group and start thinking, yeah, how can I take these people out? That's how that shit starts, right? Everyone wants to talk about we'll never have a repeat of World War II. We've got a fucking repeat of it now, right? And again, it's none of my business. As I say, I very rarely weigh in on this stuff, and there's a reason I'm talking about all of this. I know everyone's like, okay, how did we get here from these cards? We got here from these cards because This is a reunion from the past with a fire sign male. There is a fire sign male, I believe, who in a certain part of the world is planning to get back into a position or a seat of power. This could speak to that. Whether that's for the greater good, I don't know. That's not my opinion. Before anyone even starts, I swear to you, I will block and delete your comment. Don't play with me, right? I'm just reading the cards and reading the energies. This suggests that is a possibility, right? Whether that's because there's a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours going on behind in the corridors of power, different story. That we will never know, right? Because let's face it, there are a billion conversations that happen every day that we'll never be privy to. Luckily, we've got tarot, darling. Let's do some snooping. No, let's not. Okay. Like, YouTuber disappears. We'll be out here coming for Raph. Listen, I don't have those kind of wigs, Henny. Wig snatched, right? Like, oh my God, look, my cheeks are going red now. Jokes aside, it's just a possibility for the wider world stage, right? Whether you agree with me or disagree with me or whatever, you are allowed your opinion. I think it's valid. I think it's wonderful that you have it. If you don't like what I'm talking about or whether it works for you or whatever the case might be, you can literally go and never watch my channel again. That's cool. You are entitled to that, right? You do you, honey. I'm going to continue to do me. With the people that rock with me, and so far there are like 95,000 of y'all. I'm coming for that plaque, right? I'm coming for that YouTube plaque. I worked damn hard for it. So for our insight cards, what's coming in? We've got the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so potentially some kind of journey or travel that's either put on hold or cancelled altogether. With the Knight of Swords, right? This could be an argument or a dispute that's been ongoing now comes to a close or comes to an end because the parties that are involved realise that it's actually not conducive to what everybody is trying to achieve as a whole. That's really nice. Two knights represents intimacy. So for a select few of you, this could be a partnership or a relationship that comes to an end. Especially because it's the Three of Swords that's in between them. For a lot of people, your physical car / vehicle may need some attention this week. And if you are on a long distance car journey, road trip or anything like that, please make sure your spare tire is sorted. Just cause. All right. With that said, this is a very long weekly general. I apologize. I wish you all an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. I'm not going to apologize for my Raffy rant, right? I'm really not. That is how I feel about things. And yeah, I know you guys rock with me, and I know I can say pretty much anything to you. Some of you are probably new to the Reydiant Nation, so you're not really sure how we do things. For those of you that don't like the F-bombs and the swearing and stuff, this is not the place for you. All right. And yeah, let me know. Get at me. I'm intrigued to see what people's opinions are around what I've said and all the rest of it. All right. With that said, take care. You know Rafi loves you. I'll see you soon.